Hey everybody, I'm back, and so I'm about, I think, 4 minutes from, or 6 minutes from Bluffy, in which I'll need to start descending down to 17,000. So I thought I'd start up here, paused, and get ready to go. I'm going to unpause now. So first thing that you're going to want to do before you start descending is you want to slow down. And there's a saying with this plane, I mentioned in my last tutorial, but the saying's still true: slow down before you go down. Reason being is these engines, even at idle, produce 22% thrust while at idle. Which means that while you're at idle, you're still producing thrust. You're still going to increase speed. So if you even put full flaps and put your engines at idle, you're going to increase your speed no matter what. So slow down, to a good speed before you definitely go down. So I just recommend just bringing your throttles back, 75%, and go ahead and slowing down as we begin to get ready for our descent. I'm going to go ahead and set my altitude knob here to 17,000. Okay, cool. And I'm going to go ahead and altitude select, vertical speed. Shift 3, going to bring that vertical speed to about 1,500 feet per minute. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my engines all the way to idle. Okay. And you got to watch that speed. That speed will creep up. I am not lying when I say that. My engines are at idle, and that speed's holding at 170 and increasing. It's 22% thrust while it's going on. So, and I should reach my altitude here soon anyways, but cool. While we're descending, you want to go ahead and tell your passengers, so, do all that good stuff, give the briefing. And this is also a good time while you're descending is to get your Ils frequencies. So go over to Sky Vector and go to Fort Lauderdale chart, go into 27 right, or 28 right on the chart actually. It's still 27, another one. 110.7 is our ILS frequency. So 110.7 in the nav. This time I'm going to use this one. So let's see, go to nav. 110.70. Enter. Alright, so right now we don't have any information for it because we're still a little far away. But even if I did it there, it puts it in here as well. So that's good. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that for now. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, though, so that when we get close enough, I'll know. And we'll continue down in our descent. So yeah, definitely slow down before you go down, or else you're going to speed up if you don't. And that's not going to be fun because you're going to over speed. And the reason for this is the engineers didn't. What you have, if it didn't produce that 22% thrust while descending, then what could happen is that engine could turn into a giant windmill where the air going through the blades is pushing on the engine rather than the engine pushing the blades. Okay, cool. So 1,000 feet from my altitude. Sorry, I'm a little stuttery there. I'm gonna decrease this to like 1,000 feet per minute. I don't want to overshoot or stay at 1,700 for long. So yeah, we're basically getting ready. So let me pretty much give you a brief of what's going to happen. So we're going to continue on our flight plan on our arrival into Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to go ahead and continue to descend here. We're going to pass Bluffy. After Bluffy, we're going to descend some more down to 9,000 or 10,000 feet to Heat. And then from there, we're going to descend down to 2,500 to Jumar. Once we hit Jumar, that's our initial approach fix. That's when we're going to start putting in ILS. We're going to press the approach button and all that fun stuff for that. Right now, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my approach course. Oh, see, we're leveling off now, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my engines back up to that optimal point or close to it. It could be a little bit slower since we're going to be descending again here soon. But we're going to go ahead and set up my course. So to set up the course, what we're going to do is you're going to press this VL button once. Don't press it twice or else you'll change the autopilot. So we're going to press once, and a magenta line should show up. There it is. Okay, now we want the course to be 276. So change that course knob, and you can see the course down there to 276. Okay. Right there. Okay, cool. Once that's done, let it go. After 5 seconds, the magenta line will go away. If you were looking at something for 5 seconds and it didn't happen, just go ahead and press that twice, or not twice, press that VL again and then reset it, and you'll be good. Okay, so we're going to continue flying along here. And let's see, Bluffy. So 17,000 feet, and we need to go to 10,000 feet. That means we need to lose 7,000 feet. And it'll probably take us from Bluffy, it'll probably take us 8 minutes to get there. So if we're descending at, so let's say I descend at 1,500 feet per minute, in 2 minutes I'll go down 3,000, and 3 minutes I'll go down 4,500, and 5 minutes I'll go down 6,000. So it should be good to say that I can descend at 1,500 feet per minute to get to 10,000 feet. Yep. I'll be good. So once we hit Bluffy, I'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and set that up now. So I'll go ahead and put 10,000 in the altitude knob. And it won't change. This will not change until I hit the altitude select and vertical speed and set my vertical speed. So put that at 10,000 feet. But always think ahead. You want to always be thinking ahead. See how I was calculating my vertical speed, like what would be a good vertical speed to hit my points? You always want to be thinking ahead because you're moving in the plane, and even though you can pause, a good pilot always just thinks ahead and knows what he needs to do next before he gets there. And that's the difference between a pilot who has many successful landings and one who has to either go around a lot or has a crash here or there. Which you don't want. So you always want to stay ahead of the plane. You're in control. You're flying the plane. So far everything's good. And even in times like this, you want to keep going over, is there something that I should be doing? Don't zone out. Think about, is there something I should be doing? Okay, so we're turning on Bluffy. Good. I need to start descending again. So altitude select, vertical speed select. Got shift 2, shift 3. Bring that down to 1,500 foot per minute. Descent. Remember, one big mistake I just did there. I didn't slow down. So I'm going to bring my vertical speed back up until I start slowing down, and I'll start increasing my vertical speed with my my slowing and my normal speed. So if you end up doing what I just did, make sure you increase your vertical speed again so you're not speeding up, because I could have just started speeding up there and then you overshoot your point and you're too high, and then that just cascades into a bunch of events. Once you're around 170, in the 170s you can start increasing that speed a little bit. Just be careful. Don't be descending at 1,900 or don't be descending at 190 knots and then go, I need to pull my throttle back, because it'll be too late by then. You'll have to level out and decrease your speed that way. So yeah, once you're around the 170 range, you should be pretty good. It might increase a little bit, but just be careful with that. And I should hit, if my calculations are right, I should get to 10,000 right when I hit that point. And then once again, you want to start planning ahead. Now I'm planning ahead here, and I see that that's like a 90-degree turn there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off my heading button, or I'm gonna turn off my normal LNAV, or autopilot. When I get there, I'm gonna put it on heading mode, and I'm gonna kind of jut out a little bit and come back in, so it's not like a 90-degree turn there, because that's not going to go very well. So everything's looking good so far. Just going to the flows. Also, you can look at your speed cards again. There are some landing config speed cards. For your landing targets. So your target landing speed at, if you have flaps 25, is 126 knots. Okay. So just keep that in mind with your flaps. But yeah, that's for that. So our landing speed that we want to try and hit is 126 knots. Okay, so yeah, I was looking at the flap speed. So you want to slow to about 140 knots so you can put flaps 25 in. Just thinking ahead there again. Bring this back up a little bit. Yeah, if you see your speed, if your speed's starting to slow too much, make sure watch your speeds. Don't let that slow too much. So one thing while we're talking about thinking ahead is when to put flaps 9 in. You want to definitely enter your instrument approach with some flaps. Now I'm going really fast. With some flaps. So flaps 9 is generally a good idea around 170 knots. So you want to kind of hit your initial approach fix at 170 knots. Since we're going to put flaps 9 and gear down. There we go. Ooh, perfect timing. Good, good. Alright, once I hit heat, then I'll go ahead and turn out here. So it's not that weird 90 degree. Because if you let the autopilot do that, then you're going to turn back and then you're going to be swaying back and forth while you're in approach, and then it's going to be hard. So you don't want to do that. Excuse me. A little turn. Alright, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and let this turn out a little bit first. Get on course. And what's our time to it? What's our estimated time to that? 6 minutes. And that time I need to get down to 2,500 feet. So 6 minutes. So 2,000 feet per minute. 6 divided by 2 is 4. So I'll lose 4,000 feet in that. Oh, and you can hear our VOR too, so that's good. Cool. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this back down. Bring our power back. Get ready to come down to 2,500 feet. So this is going to get a little fast, so try and keep up with me if you can. If you have to, pause it or whatnot. I'm bringing altitude 2,500 feet. I'm also going to go ahead and put heading hold on. Press the heading button so we're not swaying off course. And then I'm going to go ahead and swing out a little bit. Or a lot, actually. And try and vector myself around so that I'm not... so that I'm not doing that 90-degree turn there. So I'm going to try and vector myself out a little bit, then I'll make a nice turn into the Ils Approach. So we're going to just start a nice slow descent here. So altitude and vertical speed, select on. Okay, negative 700 feet per minute, that's fine. So we're just going to do a negative 700 feet per minute descent while I set up for this approach here. Actually, I'm going to bring that 500 feet. Negative 500 feet per minute. You'll notice that I didn't mention this, but it doesn't have the negative sign, it just has an arrow. Down means you're going down, up means you're going up. So hopefully that's explanatory, pretty self-explanatory. Oops, wrong knob. Okay, bring that over a little bit that way. So yeah, I'm kind of playing this by hand here, or by knob, I guess I should say. Bring that out a little bit more. Normally you'd have a ATC to vector you, but we do not. Okay, so it's looking good. Just keep that in mind. When we hit Jumars, we're gonna hit the approach. We're gonna hit approach button. So just keep that in mind as we continue on here. And I'm gonna head straight towards that fix now. Look at that. Looking good, looking good. Now when I hit that fix, I'm going to go ahead and press the approach button. And it should, if I did it all correctly. Otherwise, I'll be doing it by hand, which is no big deal. But I would like to also show you how the ILS approach works in this. I'll have to hit it first, though. So there it is. You can see it off in the distance. You see Fort Lauderdale off in the distance. Good. Everything's working out real well here. And 2,500, there it is. Good. Let's try and bring it over to the left a little bit. I'm just going to keep it nice and slow. I'm going to go ahead and put flaps 9 in now. And when I hit Jumar, I'll bring my gear down.
Flaps 9.
So you can see that big balloon effect. And you just got to watch out for that. 170 is like a little sweet spot. You can hit 170 and it will, I'm going to go ahead and put nav on so when I do hit it, it will turn towards it and then I'll put approach. 170 is where it won't balloon so much. So if you kind of keep that in mind. If you notice, I just I armed the nav so that when I hit it, it'll go towards it on the nav, on the FMC, and then I'll press the approach as well. And it should have our ILS in there. Our ILS 110.7 is in the nav1 radio, which is all we need. I'm going to look at our approach plate real quick. Just look at the altitudes. So we'll intercept the ILS actually at Snape, which is at 2,000 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down to 2,000. So once we hit Jumar, we're going to go ahead and start descending. And then that's when I'll hit the approach button, is when we hit Snape. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, we're starting to follow the ILS, good. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my speed up a little bit. Nice and steady. Be patient. Don't rush it. Yeah, sorry, it's going to be a little bit of a long, it'll probably be a 30 to 40 minute tutorial. Oh well. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring my gear down. Under some knots.
Gear down.
And go ahead and press vertical speed. And bring that down to 1,000. Yeah, 500 feet per minute should be good. Alright, and the runway's right in front of us, looking good. Everything's looking good. I forgot to do this when I was in the air. Oh, no I didn't. Okay, cool. So, when you hit 10,000 feet, you want to bring your landing lights and taxi lights on. Forgot to do that, but no big deal. So, landing lights and taxi lights on. Okay. Okay, 2,000 feet incoming. I believe that's part of the VNAV. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. When I hit Snake, 2,000 feet. Good. And you want to, bring your speed down to 140 to put flaps 25. So you just kind of want to start, when I hit Snape, I'm probably going to put flaps 15 in. And I'm also going to press the approach button. So like I said, just being patient, playing it by ear, watching the two things. Okay, everything's looking fantastic. All lined up. And also, when you start descending about 1,000 feet, we're going to bring this condition levers to 100%. So also remember we're going to do that as well. So. And that's Control F4 for doing that. Don't mix that up with Control F1. If you do, quickly hit Control F4. If you hit Control F1 on accident, quickly press Control F4 so you don't blow your engines. Or else that could be a problem. Okay, about to hit Snape here. Gonna go ahead and bring my flaps to 15. And now I'm gonna go ahead and you'd set your altimeter to. Okay, hit Snape. Gonna go ahead and press the approach button. Okay, and you'll see that thing switch up a little bit. We got an ILS right here. So we got our vertical speed on our ILS right there, and then the horizontal indicator on our ILS also as well. And as you can see, it will start following that ILS indicator down. So we want to start bringing that throttle back, and we want to bring it to 140 so we can bring the flaps to 25. So kind of bring it in. Remember, our goal to land is at 126.
Flaps 15.
So we're going to see if we can do that. Okay. So let it just follow it in. Faith in it. We have white and red, which is good. On the the lights out there, that's good. That's good. Make sure that our gear are down and locked. Yep. Okay, good. Making sure everything's good. Passing through. We're going to be hitting 1,000 feet here soon, and I'll put full. I'll put our. What am I trying to say? I'll put our condition levers to 100. Okay, looking good. 140, flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Okay, 1,000. Full control F4 to bring your props, the condition levers to full.
Condition levers flight.
So condition levers flight. And remember, our goal is 126. Do not let that go below 126. So 126 is what we're shooting for. Around 500 feet, we're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. So pressing the disengage button twice. This does not have an auto land. So remember that. So I'm just being very gentle with the throttle controls. Getting ready to bring her in myself. Hopefully I do a good landing. Okay, coming up on that 500 foot mark. Everything's, look at this, this is a beautiful approach. 500 feet, press the disengage twice, and now we're on our own, just trying to keep following that magenta line. Looking fantastic. Look at this approach. Look at this approach. Trust the system. Bring it over to the right a little bit. Looking good. Getting over the runway. I'm going to bring the throttle back to idle. Oh, dang it. Remember to arm your spoilers before you touch down.
50,
Wow.
40, 30.
Oop, flying a little too high there. That's okay. My stick's really sensitive.
10.
Oh, oh, no. Oh, stall horn. There we go, and then F2 for reverse thrust, 70 knots. You can go ahead and bring your reverse thrust off. That was a bit of a hard landing. Ooh, alright. Well then, that wasn't the best of my landings, but it'll work. And we're going to get off to the right here. Alright. Cool. So that is all done. Bring your condition levers back to taxi.
Condition levers taxi.
And go ahead and turn your landing lights off. And keep your taxi lights on. Bring your strobes off. And yes, that's all. Cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Also bring your flaps up too. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I certainly did. That was definitely, I thought it was much better. I know my landing could have been a lot better. I floated there. My landings in real life are a bit better than that, I'll tell you that. Let's go back and look at it. Let's see here. Gotta shift it over to the right a little bit. See, and there's my big issue. I floated way too hard, and then I just floated, and oop, floated some more, And then touchdown. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Cool. Alright, well, thanks for watching and enjoying my videos. I'm glad they helped you if they did. If there's any questions, leave a comment. Like I said, let me know if you'd like me to go over VOR tracking and stuff like that in a tutorial. I think I'd like to do a tutorial on that for flight sim, VOR tracking and stuff. A little bit of radio navigation tutorial for you guys. So let me know if you guys would like that. And I'd like to do that for you guys. Also, if you look at our fuel as well, we landed with what we needed for our fuel, so that was good. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I'm sorry this one's a little bit longer than usual. But thanks for watching, and let me know what you guys would like to see out of flight sim tutorials next. Bye.